Welcome to Upper Lafayette on the Move. I'm Jan Swift. With our focus on economic development and educational opportunities in our community, we couldn't think of a better guest to have today than Dr. Willie Smith, Vice President of Academics and Workforce Solutions for South Louisiana Community College, otherwise known as SLCC. Dr. Smith, Willie, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yes, I've enjoyed our association through the years. Dr. Natalie Harder has been very supportive of our efforts, as have you, as we've worked to see educational opportunities improve and outcomes improve for all of our kids here, not just in the lower grades, but of course as they train to become career ready. So if you would, before we get into some of the meat of the program that SLCC offers, would you tell us about your background, where you grew up, and how you ended up here?
Well, I don't know if too many people want to hear this, but I'm an Alabama boy.
Uh-oh, maybe you're right.
Born and raised in Mobile, Alabama, ended up coming to Louisiana. I had a football athletic scholarship to play at Tulane University in 1989.
And that's what brought you to
Louisiana.
Me here.
And what brought me to Lafayette, I met a Cajun girl from this area who was an LSU graduate. Now go figure that. So she encouraged me, or kind of persuaded me, or pushed me to move to Lafayette and enjoy the culture of Acadiana. But before that, we was living in the Slidell area when I got into the LCTCS system. Back then, I was in 2001. It was the technical college system, the Louisiana Technical College System, before they had merged into the community and technical college system. I served as a program director of a youth build program for out-of-school youth. We assisted them with getting their GED, but also building low-income housing with Habitat for Humanity in the community of Bogalusa at the Sullivan campus.
And it was called Youth?
You Build Bogalusa.
You Build
It was a federal program funded at that time by HUD. Now it's funded by the Department of Labor. But we service kids 16 to 24 who were at risk, who have dropped out of school. So we helped them get into the technical college, helped them get jobs, and we helped to go on to be successful people in the community.
That must have been really rewarding.
It was very rewarding, and it was very, very demanding. We had a lot of folks, as we say, who had dropped out, some who had been incarcerated, a lot of single parents, and so trying to assist those with some skills to sustain their life was always a challenge.
They needed a break.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So we assisted them. We did some good things with them, with their population. It was a federal funded grant. That allowed me to get into the technical college system. And so from there, we moved in Lafayette area in 2007, and I managed another at-risk program called the KITE program, Keeping Youth Trained and Educated. So I served students who were trying to get their GED and to enroll in the technical college here. From there, I was promoted or took a position as the dean of the T.H. Harris campus in Opelousas and the C.B. Correa campus in Ville Platte. In 2012, we merged with SLCC and the former Acadiana Technical College. We merged where I became the vice chancellor of business and industry for the college.
That was a real important point, I think, in really upgrading what is now offered through SLCC. Because before you had two different college branches, right? You had the technical college and then somewhat of a smaller community college system.
Right. It was Louisiana, of course, was behind with what we call a comprehensive community college, where you can offer technical skills training as well as general education and transfer degree training. So with the merger, we became a comprehensive community college, where we can work with you academically, where you can transfer to a four-year institution, or you can provide you with some technical skill where you can go to work.
I remember back in 2012 or 2013, Dr. Harder spoke to an Upper Lafayette meeting, and there were a lot of young people in the audience for Upper Lafayette, and she spoke about how so many graduates of colleges get these great degrees. They get a four-year degree, but they're still not quite trained to enter the workforce with a skill that's readily transferable. And so, you know, one of the things we'd like to do today is to promote not only the many programs that are offered by SLCC, but that in many cases, the current job market really requires two-year associate degrees, where if enough people know about this, they can go in, get a 2-year associate's degree, and then either transfer to a 4-year college and get more training, or they can hit the job market ready to roll, to get a high-paying job.
Well, you're absolutely right, Jan. What we see is many folks who go to a 4-year that may not be ready, end up taking some general courses, and they don't finish the 4-year degree, and they find themselves looking for some kind of job. The 2-year college allows students to come in, take 2-year courses, and can get a good job, not just a great, decent job, but a really good job to sustain their way of life and their family. We also see some students who may get a 4-year degree who don't want to leave the state because they may not have the jobs that requires what their degree requires, but also can see value that they want to stay with their family, want to stay in Louisiana, and those folks tend to enroll into the technical in the community college with us and pursue a different career where it's high demand, high wage jobs. We know that many of the jobs, over 60% of the jobs, are only going to require 2-year degree or less.
In Louisiana or nationally?
And nationally, roughly about 70% of the job is only going to require a little bit less than 4 years, a 2-year degree, and maybe certifications, those kind of skill sets.
So for our younger students, to know this when you're in high school is really critical, because that's when your family's making choices about where do you want to go to school, do you want to go to college, or what do you want to focus on. And I know you've been very helpful with me in sharing information from Louisiana's Workforce Commission that shows where the real need are for training for jobs that are currently needing to be filled. And if you could explain some about that. I know that SLCC looks at the curriculum that they offer, and you work directly with businesses and industry to offer what's needed, where people can get placed in jobs that are well paying.
Right, the value of community college, when we say comprehensive, there are some students who want to go to 4-year degree, but they couldn't come and pay a rather reduced cost to enroll in a community college, take 2 years with us, didn't go to a 4-year degree, didn't go to a 4-year university to fulfill their 4-year obligation. Or you may have those who want the 2-year degree to go to work. And what we do is, when you talk about evaluation, we work with Louisiana Workforce Commission, publish what they call a star rating system. And that star rating system have a stars from 1 to 5 on high wage, high demand job. So if it's a career, the industrial trades, or construction trade, or technology like application software development, which we have that program at SLCC, those are 4- and 5-star jobs. That means that those are high demand programs and they're high wage programs. And so when we try to do programs, we try to make sure that they are high wage, high demand. You do have students who can get an associate degree, but in Louisiana we have what we call a technical diploma, where they take 45 credit hours and they can get a technical diploma in a high wage, high demand job.
With 45 hours?
With 45 credit hours. And we have basically we led the state, we have reduced our curriculum for mid-hour 45 credit hour program to 1 year in length.
Wow. I know if anybody that's interested in this, you can go to laworks.net, and that's our Louisiana Workforce Commission site. And what Dr. Smith was just talking about is, when you look at it, you want to be looking at 4- and 5-star jobs. And so let's talk about what type of jobs are rated 4 and 5 stars. Like you were mentioning, application software development. We have some new companies here that have just located here in Lafayette, including CGI, Proficient, Inquero, and I'm sure there are others that have us on their radar because of our fiber system that we have here. But you've worked directly with CGI as an example.
Yes, CGI.
And let's talk about that. Like, what are they looking for? What type of training do they need their workers to have?
We normally have always had hardware and troubleshooting. Now, with the application software development, you're actually engaging into software, your JavaScripts and those kind of manual language that you're actually writing programs. And it can be for business or federal government when we work with CGI. Proficient and Inquero have other different contractors where they are writing program language, not the hardware where you set up a computer, or you're fixing the computer, or you're fixing the bulb and those kind of things. This is actually writing software to do something that you wanted to do for the organization.
So they'll customize software for the client, whether it's government or private business.
Correct.
And so y'all are teaching the kids how to actually write
We have a partnership with UL where we teach them the first 2 years, then they go to University of Louisiana Lafayette for the additional 2 years. Then depending on what skill set, they can become eligible for employment at CGI.
And so they can take, you were saying, for 2 years of SLCC tuition might be about $8,000,
Right.
and it might be double at a university.
It gives parents who may not be financial able or financial sound as an easier way, and I shouldn't say easier, but certainly a way that they can maintain to pay for the education. You know,
It's
higher
more
education is
affordable.
more expensive.
Yeah.
It's affordable now to go to a 2-year college now, like us, where they can do 2 years, and then they only spend less amount of time going for their 4-year or their bachelor degree.
Right.
You know, so they can start out with us. And this relationship that we have with UL has very, very impactful. Where we serve the student for the 2 years, then they transfer to UL for the additional 2 years. And even between that, I should say that while they have their 2-year social degree, they actually can go to work. So now they can make some resource or bring some income in that will pay
And then go
for
to
their 4-year
college
degree and
on
go
the
to college.
side.
Right.
Yeah. So people can utilize TOPS at SLCC, is that correct?
Yes, you can utilize TOPS. Many of our students that go to junior college, I think over 70% qualify for some type of financial aid. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we do, and the Chancellor, Dr. Harder and Atlanta Fontenot, who's over our advancement office, do a great job on bringing in additional resources from many partners around the state, but certainly around Acadiana, who are supporting our endeavors by providing scholarship to students.
Right.
And so we want to make it much affordable, as affordable as possible to enroll those students in the community college.
And you know, that's such a, what a vulnerable time for our young students to have people like you helping. I know when I've met with Dr. Harder too, I mean, she takes a personal interest, as do you, in seeing that the students' needs are met, that they're helped through the system to know how to get financial aid and to make the right choices for what their true interests are.
We realize that there's a lot of people that need to be served.
Right.
Who, remember, we had the old conversation we talked earlier, want to go to college, but nobody thought about what you want to do in college.
Right.
Or just college just don't include just a 4-year, but also going to the community college, which has many of the high demand, high wage programs.
Right.
I want to stress we work well with our partner here at University of Louisiana Lafayette. They're a great partner with us, but we know that's opportunity for some folks who don't want to go to the 4-year route, who probably want some training or some credential where they can get a good job. And so we pride ourselves and work with that population. I get very excited to work with that population, work for business and industry.
Right.
Because usually they dictate to us on what they need
Right.
and the demand for different kind of students or employees.
And what I want to stress today is that for so many of us, I know in my generation, my parents didn't go to college, and it was kind of drilled into us for a few decades that you had to have that 4-year diploma. But yet I was one that graduated in general studies myself. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And college was affordable back then.
Right.
It was really paid for by the state. And so you could switch majors and take your time. But today we don't have that luxury. Parents don't have the luxury of paying for everything. And you know, the kids, you hate to see them get into debt pursuing something that they don't really know what they want to get out of it.
And the debt is the biggest obstacle for students not completing college is the debt.
Right.
Right? Because we know higher education expenses have grown over the years and they've been much less affordable for many students who cannot afford to go to college.
But then they do get debt, and they still don't get their degree.
Right.
And so that's why I'm so fascinated by what y'all do. There's so many careers that you focus on. I know we were talking again about the 4 to 5 star rating. And some of the other things you were telling me about were automotive technology, aviation maintenance, which is a big one, right? Aviation maintenance.
We also, that you don't have there, we have a new, what we call International School Aviation Excellence. It's in New Iberia. It's a helicopter training program.
Isn't that new?
That is a new program. We've been having about a year now. We acquired Bristol Academy, so we're actually training pilots for helicopter training. We hope to get resources and support from the state and from the local community and whomever to do a bigger program where we can expand that to do fixed wing training. We see the demand nationally in the state and locally for fixed wing pilots as well. We would like to do training for fixed wing pilot training as well. So the ISA program is a very, very high demand program where many of the students or many of the folks that we train go into industry that work for oil and gas. They also work for private different companies, and we're supporting those. Our aviation maintenance program is another high demand program that's right here in Lafayette, where we're training them to power plant and the structures of our plane, how to address those kind of needs and demands.
Right.
So we're excited about those programs, and we have a bunch of programs. Registered nursing.
I wanted to get into nursing. I know that's a 4- and 5-star occupation, different fields in nursing.
We're about 2 years now in our registered nursing program. We are recruiting this fall for our registered nursing program here in Lafayette that talks about us expanding that program to different campuses. By the way, we have 8 campuses in 8 parishes. I should allude those parishes. The those campuses are the Acadian campus in Crowley, the C.B. Corral campus in Ville Platte, the Evangeline campus in St. Martinville, the Gulf area campus in Abbeville, the Lafayette campus, which is our main campus here in Lafayette, the T.H. Harris campus in Opelousas, and the New Iberia campus in Tertiary campus. And also to say in St. Mary, we are merging with Young Memorial campus. We also had a Franklin site, but now we will have the Young Memorial campus that is in Morgan City. Will be part of SLCC.
So you're on the road a lot.
We're on the road a lot, and we have a marine operation program down there that we're doing because they're closer to the water.
In St. Mary Parish.
In St. Mary Parish to the port. So we're excited about that campus emerging with us. But for our registered nursing program, we are talking about expanding that program to some other campuses, but we also have practical nursing for those who want to be LPN, and we're thinking about doing an LPN to RN program at some point in time because we know there are some skills upgrade, there are some changes in medical services that require more RN now, and so we want to do a whole bunch of things that are going to support our allied and nursing field. So
the different campuses that you were just mentioning in the 8 parishes, for people looking on the website, let's say I live in Franklin or I live in New Iberia, whatever, there's customized classes for each location. They don't all offer the same classes, right? Many of the campuses got different diverse offers. Depending on how large the campus, they may have more offerings. But but all of our campuses, we do general studies. Okay. These are campuses that for the general studies of folks who want to go to the 4 university. We can do those. It would be kind of hard for us to do many of your technical programs because they're expensive and they requires a lot of resources from the college. But we do have a diverse opening or diverse setting of courses of all of our campuses. We also have what we call a corporate college. We developed the corporate college about a year and a half ago where we do a lot of non-credit and customized training. And we've been working with the scaffolding industry. We've been working with project management training. We have a certified CVO, certified vehicle operations training where we're teaching truck drivers at our campus in Crowley. And so our corporate college allows us to be more flexible for business and industry needs by doing short-term training. The scaffolding program is a 4-week training program. And what is that scaffolding program? What do they learn? The scaffolding is, they have equipment that you're building different sets that you go on top of roof or structure and organization. So they're training you how to be safety, number one, how to put on your lassos and how you secure yourself safely when you're going on a big, large structure that you have to reach a sky building or a sky cross or whatever we call those buildings. And you mentioned that some of them are non-credit, so that the companies will pay SLCC to put on these classes, and it's not necessarily to get a certificate, but it's to learn particular needs for that job. In many cases, the student can get certificate, just depending on what the certification is. The scaffolding industry does get a certificate. The students who are the 2 young men and women who take our CDL program end up getting the Class A, B certification license. So many occupations, they can get certification, but there may be some little small, minute skill that employees want that don't lead to a certification, but it's a big need in the industry here. So we train for like project management, or we do medical coding and billing, where they get a certification. That's really big here in the medical field. So we have abundance of short-term training programs that we can do and be creative on training the community. That's great. Yeah. So what do you think is one of the biggest jobs that people, like if they were looking at, if they're a high school junior or senior, what would you recommend that the kids look at? Let's say they were coming into SLCC and they're really open. They enjoy science or math or something. What would you send them to?
If you're gonna focus in science and just, I think all of our programs that are 4 and 5 star, you can make some really good ways. You can see the median average on those flyers there. But if you're going to be in science, I would say our nursing, our LI Health and Nursing program, or non-destructive testing, which is a STEM field where we get people that works into different industry in non-destructive testing, where they actually work with radiation chemicals and those kind of things. So those are exciting careers if you think about science. Or if you think about some construction trades, your welding, your machine tool, your industrial technology, diesel. We got diesel students that actually work on oil and gas platforms.
Really?
Because those engines are diesel engines. You never thought that a diesel student would be working on oil and gas platforms.
I know,
right?
but there's a need
for that. So it's just a need for that, so diverse.
Yeah.
You don't have just to work at a diesel industry or truck driver company, you actually work on oil and gas platforms.
Right. You know, Todd Citron and Hub City Ford, they're members of Upper Lafayette, and I've heard him speak before about how difficult it is to find people that are trained to do automotive, you know, maintenance, repairs and all. And I know that you guys offer that also.
And automotive has changed in many years because of technology. You know what we used to call a grease monkey, now you see them really clean now, working with computers and different other kind of technology. So that has changed a lot. So the skill level for automotive has risen as well. You can really find great automotive mechanics. I don't know the car that you drive, Jan, but I think that now technology is running those cars, so you need people who can reprogram, who can troubleshoot. Not only work on the car, but also do diagnostics.
Right. Yeah, because it's, you know, so many of us know how to do just a little bit, and we can't really handle the challenges in life. So, yeah.
Technology has changed a lot. It's driving, and even diesel. The old diesel truck that you see now, those are computer operated now. So you got to have some technology experience to operate those. So it's very exciting for a high school young man or woman if they think that these are dead-end careers, they're no longer not. They're changing.
I'm a big proponent, obviously, of the community college system, and I know with all the budget cuts that the state has been imposing on you and, you know, the four-year institutions, you've really had to really be creative.
Yeah, we have. We had to be very physical with our resources, or probably could be a way where we can't offer every program for everybody, so we had to be smart on what program that we offer. I would say that we do have budget challenges like anyone else, but we are trying to maintain our integrity by doing what's right by students, by also making sure we have high demand programs that when they enroll, that they're going to get a good job when they finish our institution. So we can be proud of that.
Yeah, well, I think for people that haven't looked, like I said, what is your site to go to? Can we just Google South Louisiana Community College?
www.solacc.edu. That's www.solacc.edu.
Because all this is on the website, not only the different fields, but tuition, where the campuses, which one you
you can enroll at, they give you enrollment dates and everything. I would say one last thing I would like to mention is we're also doing summer camps. Where we also get the students from 6th grade on up to go and learn about different occupational programs.
That's great.
That's exciting. So you can go on our website. If you got a young man or young son or daughter who wants to learn about careers, they can sign up on our website about our summer camps.
That's great, because that'll encourage them too to do well in school while they're in, you know, getting their secondary degrees. So is there anything that we haven't discussed that you might want to bring up? Have I missed anything?
No, if you have any doubt, you just need to go on our website, come by the school, come by the campus, give me a call. We'll be willing to talk to you more about the opportunities that we have to support our community, but certain families, and certainly support our business and industry in Acadiana.
Right. Dr. Willie Smith, I'm so grateful for your time today. I want to thank you for being here. And I also want to tell the community watching the show today, you guys have been so supportive of Upper Lafayette, of our mission to see that all of our children and students have the best educational outcomes. So I can't think of a better partner, a better community player than South Louisiana Community College. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching our show. We film this show and all of our shows at Delta Media right here in Karen Crow. I want to thank Dylan Guillory, who's filming the show, and the staff at Delta Media for making us welcome here. You can watch this show and all of our shows the second and fourth Thursday of each month on AOC 2 at 8:30 p.m. or go to our website at upperlafayette.com. I'm Jan Swift with another episode of Upper Lafayette on the Move. Thank you.